Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have three lovely guests with me. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. So starting with you.
Hi, my name is Sam Bagley.
All right, and at your Twitter and Instagram.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _sickmd. Yeah.
My name is Norlina. You can follow me at Norlina27 on Instagram.
All right, my name's Greg. You can follow me at Let Greg Be Great on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, guys. So I brought these special guests to answer some questions with me. We want to get straight into the topic. Do men still believe in courtship?
Okay, my perspective on courtship is, so you have your typical like dating, boyfriend, girlfriend, but then like when you want to be extremely intentional, that to me is considered like courtship.
Like you're preparing for marriage.
When you're preparing for marriage, like it's the more very intentional portion of dating prior to engagement.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You're dating to, like if you're courting, you're dating to marry. That's your intention.
Yeah, that's my.
At what point does courtship kick in? Or at what point do you think courtship kick in?
So it's like,
Wait.
I mean, no, because this is.
Oh, you do have that. You want to be dated like from jump. You want to be courted from jump.
I mean,
At a certain
here's the
age,
thing, yeah.
but like you should be getting there.
My thing with courtship is that it's different from dating because you're like, you might be like talking or whatever, but talking is a very like short period. So it's like, I'm interested in you. I have this like quick reaction towards you. So it's like, I'm going to court you because I see. But I believe courtship takes observation first. So it's like, I'm not gonna court you. It's a little bit different than dating because like I feel like in the dating period, it's just like, okay, let me see if I actually want to be with this person. But with courtship, you're gonna observe before you actually decide to court that person. So it's like you're friends with them, you're observing their characteristics, their mannerisms, because that's important. How they treat people, how they treat strangers, how they treat elderly people, waiters, people who are working for them, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, like I want to court this person because I like how they carry themselves. With dating, I feel like you learn all that stuff while you're dating and talking to that person.
Wait, so then for you, are dating and courtship one and the same? Or like, do you date the person that you're courting, or do you date and date?
Well, for
like,
me,
which one comes first?
For me, I don't like. I use the term like dating and like relationships, but really, I just mean courtship.
Like you're only
I'm
interested
only
in courtship. Like you're
I'm
not
only
gonna
dating to
date
marry.
someone unless you see them. You're like you want to take the next step.
Right.
with them.
I'm only dating to marry.
So you're not gonna be someone's girlfriend unless they're courting. That's what we're saying.
I'm not going to be someone's girlfriend if they have the intention of like, oh, I'm not looking for someone. Like I'm just looking for fun. Like I'm not looking for someone to marry right now. I'm not looking to settle down right now. So it's like, of course we don't have to settle down in a year. Like we don't have to get married in a year. But it's just like your intention is to get married one day.
Okay, so then the question was, how do we feel about courtship?
Right.
Do you believe in courtship?
100%, because courtship is, like you said, it's necessary. It's a lot of observation to really figure out if this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. And so, but for me, I do have a slightly different perspective as far as like, when I'm dating initially, like you don't know who that person is when you first start dating them. Like when you make someone your girlfriend, yeah, you have like that initial, they've checked off a certain amount of boxes on your, whatever your list is. But marriage is it should be a very serious thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
And there's a difference to me between dating and getting to know a person in a dating context, and then, like I'm actually really ready to get down on one knee. Let me figure out the really nitty-gritty stuff about it.
Okay. I definitely agree that courting comes after dating because I have to make informed decisions. I can't make an informed decision and say, oh, I want to spend the rest of my life with you after knowing you for a couple months. Like, I don't know who you are. You're probably going to change as a person too. Like, it's just, that's not realistic for me. And what I personally would need to go all in on somebody. So to me, you date, you get to know each other, you get to see them in different environments, you get to see them in different, interact with different people, and then I say, okay, I can actually see this. Like, I don't really date anybody that I couldn't see the potential of possibly getting married. At the end of the day, but that's very different to me than, oh, I see you, I want to get married to you. Like, let's just get all this.
That's how I used to be. Great, that's how I used to be. I used to see a girl and be like, I'm married.
To me, that's how you get into situations and relationships that aren't healthy because you're already so invested so early on. I think you still need to leave yourself, especially in those early stages, leave yourself an hour, just to protect yourself to a certain extent.
I do agree because they say all the time you're single until you're married. So
Yep.
I do respect that, and
Alright.
always having that door open. It's like if either one decides to change or doesn't want this, they can leave the relationship. So I do agree with that. So I respect you guys' opinions on that topic. The next one that we have is, why are men okay with lying to women's faces? Okay, please explain.
Person in the comments.
Whoever said that question, I just want to know who heard.
That's a valid
talk
question.
about it.
It's a valid
Answer.
question. And
It's not okay. Like,
It's not. Yeah.
It's not okay to lie to anybody.
okay, but
That's what I'm
this is what I think. Telling half of the truth,
Ooh, oh.
and that's my issue, or telling me later than at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like if I ask you something, you're like, I don't know, or you kind of are keeping it short with me, and then like, I need more. Like women want to know every little detail of every little detail, and like I feel like men, you kind of keep it real short. Not all men, but because you feel as though we might respond, or it hasn't all come together yet.
So, just what I think on a fundamental level, when you were talking about women love to know every single little detail, I think that's a fundamental just difference in the way our brains work. Because for me, I'm gonna give you the high points, I'm gonna give you the points that actually matter, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. Like if I'm being completely just like, if I'm being genuine, I'm not being malicious, like I'm not gonna tell you every girl that I spoke to that day, whereas that might be something that you hear about that you're interested in, you know what I mean? So coming from a strictly like non-malicious, you know, angle, I think that's where fundamentally like our wires can get crossed. As far as like being malicious, that's, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. That's a whole other conversation.
Right.
But I think it's important on both ends to realize that I think that's a fundamental overarching way that males and females communicate, and you kind of have to cater to each other in that, you know, sense. You know what I mean?
And to take it from the malicious perspective, because I don't know about Greg, I've had a trash nigga phase.
How to what?
I have had a trash nigga phase.
Oh, okay.
I'm stating that on the record.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
And on the record, let me just say this: y'all make it easy,
And
and I'm gonna say
No,
that.
you
No.
You can't blame your actions on us.
Let me finish. And what I'm saying is that what I mean by y'all make it easy is that a lot of women ignore so many red flags because they want to see the best in a man.
Absolutely.
Which I think is a beautiful thing, but that it makes it easy to manipulate women at times. And I say like I've never gone like super off the deep end, but it's just like I've definitely seen how it is very easy to tell a half truth, tell whatever truth you want to tell, and then a girl will either believe you or they will ignore the fact that even if they know that you're lying, because they want to grow with you, they want to make you a better person, they'll stay around and deal with your trash nigga tendencies. Which is it's sad, but it's a real reality. Like it happens.
But you see, look at you now, like.
Oh no, we're
That's what she prayed for. Why you just want
to all the women that are watching this, if you see red flags, the moment you see a red flag, go.
But it's okay. It's
Period.
easier said than done because you see those red flags, but it's just like, but he's a good person.
No, he's not. If he's showing you a red flag,
No,
he's
but then-
not a good person.
And then it's just like, but he understands me, or like, you know, we know
He
each
can
other.
also understand a Chick-fil-A menu. That don't mean nothing.
So, in a lot of situations with my female friends, platonic friends that have talked to me about trash niggas, one thing I always hear, oh, he'll do anything in the world for me. There was a situation where, you know, he dropped everything and he came to make sure I was okay. Like, things like that are universal. I won't say they're universal across the board, but like, I've seen a lot of my female friends justify a lot of crap because of that. What I consider to be a fundamental baseline thing that you should do for anybody that you're interested in, anybody that you're legitimate friends with, platonically, romantically, whatever it may be. Like, I think, in my experience, women justify all the trash behavior that they obviously see by the, you know, the supplemented good deeds. Like, it's, I don't know. To
He
me,
brought me lunch at work.
Exactly. Like,
He brought me flowers once 2 months ago.
I feel like, dang, if you have a
These are real things.
Coming
These
at
are
our
real
real
things.
things.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of girls like let it slide by because I feel like it's because you might see the characteristics, like his characteristics, and with like just in general with relationships, it's hard to find someone who has like a lot of the characteristics that you want. So it's just like I'm gonna stay around because I like his characteristics. Like he might be a leader, he might be strong, he might be X, Y, and Z, whatever you're looking for, and then it's like I don't find that in a lot of guys, so it's like I want to hold on to this because I see what I like I see what I want, even though like he may not be consistent or like he may be wishy-washy and like stuff like
One thing I had to teach myself, and it took me a very long time, do not date someone's potential, date someone who someone is, and that will save you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of hurt down the road, down the way.
Okay, so let me confuse that whole, not confuse it, but more so like give a perspective. I feel like especially a lot of us, we haven't fully taken the time out to invest in ourselves and, you know, find ourselves. And so, but we still want to date, you know? So it's like, I feel like we tend to date someone for their potential because, hell, when we look at ourselves, we're not even at our fullest potential or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just like where we see ourselves and working towards that. Like if you see effort in that, then I feel like that's where people tend to stick it out, you know, because it's like I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I'm not perfect, so how can I expect somebody else to be perfect when that's where I just find it like where that problem
I hear you, but the thing is,
occurs.
there's a difference between, so when I said don't date someone's potential, there's a difference between understanding potential but also understanding where you're at and acknowledging that. So self-awareness is very important to this.
Absolutely.
I was talking about this with you guys before. You can have someone, you can date someone's potential if they are self-aware of where they're at right now and they are transparent with you about where they're at right
Absolutely.
now. That is an exception to my rule as far as not dating potential, because that in that case, you guys both know where you stand. You have verbalized it, and when actions might not match up, you at least know where the person's at and you know that they're growing. But again, if the person is consistently not acting how you need them to act,
to go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
And I think it's important
I agree.
to know whether or not you have the type of relationship where you can hold each other accountable when those things
accountability. That's a whole conversation.
where you hold each other accountable and you're also willing to work on it.
That's
so
true.
if you don't have that baseline relationship, then dating somebody's potential is pointless to me. You know.
Alrighty, so the next question we have here, what fears do they have about dating? So what fears do men have about dating? And then I guess we can like spin off about what females have fears about dating.
I guess as I've gotten older and I've become more independent, and now that dating's a little bit more intentional, kind of what we were talking about before, like we're dating to marry.
Yeah.
I have I'm a little bit trepidant as far as like if I meet a woman and she seems to like check off all these boxes, I'm like, okay, what's wrong?
Yeah.
And one, because, well, fun fact, Greg and I both did medical school, about to, become doctors out here.
Black
And
doctors. Black doctors, okay?
Black doctors, yes, black men in medicine. But a big part of that, and a lot of our female friends have warned us, like, we have to be very, very careful who we date because people might not date us for the right reasons. And so I am now on the defensive when it's like, if I see someone and they show interest and it's all sort of stuff, I'm like, okay, are you dating me or are you dating who you think I'm going to be in like 5-6 years? Yeah. And so for me, I'm definitely scared of, one, someone not being who they say they are and running that for a good minute, and then I actually start catching feelings, and all of a sudden, I figure out she wants me for my money. Or two, I'm honestly just scared I'm not going to find who I'm supposed to be with at all. That's a whole separate conversation. I'm going to transfer that over to Greg.
Before the emotions come out.
Right. So I think historically for me, I've always been afraid of falling too deeply for the wrong person, I guess.
Yep.
I don't fall often, but I fall hard. Like my sisters tell me that all the time. That makes sense. So it takes a lot for me to really, really like someone and really care for that person. But once I do, like we're locked in. And so I guess knowing that about myself, one of my fears is that I get locked into the wrong person, and I'm not able to see that until it's too late.
Yep.
And I think right now a fear that I have would be, I don't know, just knowing myself, knowing how much I've changed over the last 2 years. Getting into a relationship with someone and completely changing, or they completely change, and us just not being on the same page anymore, but we're already too deep in. And then I think everybody has this fear just of being vulnerable, and what people will do potentially with whatever occurs from you being vulnerable.
Right.
I think you need vulnerability in any relationship, platonically or romantically.
Right.
But I think it's a lot harder to do that in a romantic setting where anything you do can be used against you potentially.
Like Greg said, vulnerability is hard. Like you're giving someone the key. I said this before. Like you're giving someone the key to hurt you. You're giving someone the key to genuine, like not to be cliche, but break your heart. And that's not something that I treat lightly. So as I'm approaching new relationships, definitely something that I'm looking at.
And just to clarify, I don't think these fears necessarily hinder us.
Yeah,
or like,
most definitely not.
we're all scared of being vulnerable, but you have to be vulnerable for it to work.